Shannon, what does the point spread tell you?
It tells me that Vegas has a lot of respect, the ultimate respect for the Rams. They're a very good football team. Offensively, as you mentioned, Jenny, they're averaging 34 points a game or almost. And it tells me that the Vegas looks at Green Bay, and although they have a transcendent quarterback, they're a very flawed team. They've given up at least 29 points in 4 of their 5 games. They watched C.J. Beathard just the other night carve them up. And C.J. Beathard not possess what the Rams possess. And Todd Gurley and Brandon Cooks and Cooper Kupp and Jared Goff. So this is why. But it also should be an indictment to the Green Bay's front office, because you've done a very poor job of surrounding a transcendent player with weapons, not on the offensive side, because everybody automatically assumes, well, when you have a transcendent player, you surround him with offensive talent. No, but you better get somebody that can stop the opposing team and don't force him to every game have to go out and score 35 points in order to win. And that's what they've done. You look at the Green Bay's defense, it says, Green Bay, y'all not very good defensively. And it's putting a lot of pressure on your quarterback. And he's nicked. Vegas tells me that they believe Aaron Rodgers is still a little nicked. That's what it tells me.
He's going to take his brace off. That's what he says.
That's what he said.
Yeah.
When I see it, I believe it.
Well, that's what he said.
I don't care what he says, Skip Bayless. I see better than I hear.
Yeah.
People say a lot of things.
Did you see him run that 4.240 right up the gut?
He ran 4.240 in 10 yards.
Yeah, he did.
So you ought to be
30 yards.
And also, look, I already know where he's going to go. Tom Brady has never been a 9-point. But when has Tom Brady ever gone into a game where someone said, you know what? Their coach is better than Coach Belichick. Mike McCarthy is going into this game. I don't believe there's a general manager. You say, okay, who would you rather have, Mike McCarthy or Sean McVay right now? How many general managers of the 32 will say they would take Mike McCarthy over Sean McVay? So there's a lot of indictment to go around. But what this mainly tells me about Vegas, who does these kind of things for a living, is that they have the ultimate respect for the Rams, and they don't have a whole lot of respect for the Packers. They have respect for Aaron Rodgers, but they just say, bro, your defense, I ain't buying it.
You know, it's funny. I hadn't planned to bring up Tom Brady.
Yes, you had.
Now that you bring it up, that's a great idea. I like that, because that frames it all. Eureka, I see it. Now it comes clear to me. The odds makers are just saying what I've been saying all along, that Aaron Rodgers is no Tom Brady. Because obviously, to your point, if Tom Brady were going to the Rams this Sunday, what would he be? Maybe a 3-point underdog? Yeah. Maybe?
Yeah,
would it be Pick'em?
Or if he had Mike McCarthy, he'd probably be a 13-point underdog if he had Mike McCarthy. But he got Coach Belichick. He got the best coach that's ever walked the sideline.
Oh, really?
Yes.
So Coach Belichick's defense has given up the 25th most yards in the NFL this year. Green Bay's only given up the 8th most yards. That's interesting.
What about
8th to 20th.
Whoa.
They're a little closer. It's 15th for Green Bay.
Yeah.
Green Bay is 15th in points allowed, but 20th for the genius Belichick. 20th? Are you kidding me? And they've given up the 3rd most second-half points in the National Football League, and it was the 2nd most after the Kansas City debacle.
They're so far ahead.
Huh, really?
Yeah.
I don't think they've been so far ahead. I think there have been a lot of close games that mostly the real 12 pulls out. So, to me, Aaron Rodgers is getting no respect from Las Vegas, because when I look at the receivers, you know, I can make a case that Aaron Rodgers has at least as good a receiving core as Tom Brady does, especially if Gronk is in and out of the lineup, because Jimmy Graham's been pretty good. He's been more productive than Gronk as far as because he's averaging 12 yards a catch on 47 catches. Guess who Brady's top receiver is so far? It's little James White. So Devontae Adams has 47 catches. James White has 45 catches, and he's only averaging 8 yards a catch because he's just dink and dunk, right?
But he moves the chain, and that's the extension of their running game. But Skip, think about it. Green Bay's lost on the road to Washington and Detroit. And I don't think Vegas respects Washington and Detroit like they respect the Rams, and rightfully so, because they got two MVP candidates. Right now, Todd Gurley is at worst case scenario. No matter how good you think of Pat Mahomes and Drew Brees has played, Todd Gurley is in that discussion for MVP. Jared Goff might be a little ways down, but he's in the discussion because they're 7-0. He's the quarterback. He's played well, but Todd Gurley. So look at what Aaron has to, the opposition that he knows, that Rodgers knows that he goes into a game. If I don't score 30, we're going to lose. That's an awful lot. That's an awful burden to have to bear game in game.
Tom Brady bears every game. His defense is horrendously bad. Did you see the Super Bowl? Remember the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
Remember what happened against Blake Bortles at Jacksonville? Remember what happened against Matt Stafford at Detroit? Remember those games? Yeah. It was just bombs away against genius Belichick's defense.
But what you took is that one game, and Brady did play unbelievable. He had the costly turnover. But do you think Brady played well against Detroit? In Detroit? Do you think he played well against Jacksonville in Jacksonville? He bears some culpability. He did turn the ball over.
Yet, would you believe that Tom Brady, not having quite the year he had a year ago when he was the MVP of the league, he's still 7th overall in QBR at 73 at scale of 0 to 100. So 73 it's pretty decent. Aaron Rodgers, the most overrated quarterback in the league because of you and others on this show, he's at 53. That's only 3 points above average.
What about touchdown?
That ranks 20th.
What about touchdown to interception ratio?
12 to 1. But again, when you factor in when do you throw them and what mistakes do you make and what do you do with your legs, it's 53. That's just barely, again, 20th in the league is Aaron Rodgers.
But we
so
know
Las Vegas is saying he ain't all that.
But Skip, what we know that QBR is skewed because we've seen guys throw 2 interceptions and the opposing guy throws none and has 300-yard passing and his QBR is lower than the guy that threw 2 picks.
Sometimes, but mostly it's very accurate.
Okay, it's very accurate. But look at Tom's. What did he have? 13, 14, 15 touchdowns now?
16.
16 touchdowns.
To 7.
16 to 7. And Aaron Rodgers is what?
12 to 1.
Oh, okay. Give me that.
But how about the records?
Give me that.
3-2-1 for Green Bay, but 5-2, and they know what Tom Brady has to keep overcoming because that's a bad defense.
Well, if Mason Crossbar, which is the name Crossbar, because like somebody, you remember he doinked 4 of them, Skip Bayless, and the PAT, and he shanked one against Minnesota. So easily, that's 2 more wins. So put those 2 wins in Aaron Rodgers' column, and guess what? We're having a different discussion.
Aaron's been stinking it up, though.
No, don't do that, Skip.
Yeah, he has. Well,
How is he stinking it up with 12 to 1?
Mistakes. Fumbles, sack fumbles.
What about Tom?
Every once in a while, but not that often.
Fumble. Remember he fumbled the other night against Kansas City?
Yeah, who won that game?
Yeah, they won.
Tom Brady threw for 182 in the 4th quarter in that game. That's just outrageously great. It's inexplicably great.
You know what?
Well, it just is.
Why you do that, Skip?
I don't do it. He did it. I'm just repeating what he did.
All I'm saying is that you make it seem like Coach Belichick. What you try to do is marginalize and minimize Coach Belichick's impact.
He has lost his fastball coaching defense.
No,
coaching defense.
No, he has not.
For the last 2 years, I just don't see it. I don't. Show me. Help me. When
they need to make plays against Jacksonville in that championship game.
Yeah.
They gave up 3 points on the very first possession because what happened was they flipped the field, Jen, and then they kicked the field goal. So like 3 seconds into the 4th quarter. Prior to that, Skip Bayless, in the most meaningful ball games, championship games, Super Bowls, how many points had that defense allowed?
What happened, Jen, in the 4th quarter of the Jacksonville game is that Tom Brady threw for 138 against the best defense in pro football and controlled the clock and the football and played keep away from the Jacksonville offense. So it didn't have time to do the damage that it had been doing. It was up 20 to 10 early in the 4th quarter. I'm just telling you what happens.
Quality guy. Yeah. Not how much of it.
I'm a facts guy.
I'm not how much of it do I have, but what did I do when I did have it? And see, that was the question, because even though Tom was doing what he was doing in football, they don't play make it, take it like we do at the Blacktop. You make a basket, you keep the ball. Sure. In football, you score, you got to kick off, Skip Bayless. So Blake Bortles was getting back on the field. Think about
the same Blake Horribles who threw for 373 against Belichick's defense in week 2 of this year?
Yeah, the one.
That guy? Yeah, that guy? Is that who you're talking about?
And the one that got benched for Cody Kessler in the 3rd quarter of last week's game.
That makes it even worse.
Yeah.
Belichick.
Yeah,
Really?
that guy. That's the guy. That's the guy we talk about that Jalen Ramsey say, we know what the problem is. But you know, Jalen, you said it. Now, you said everybody else quarterback was trash. Say, oh, Blake, we got us a good one. No, you don't. You got trash. What you called everybody else's quarterback other than Brady and Rodgers. But that's not the here nor there, Skip Bayless. You know
What is here and not there is that Aaron Rodgers got Devontae and Jimmy Graham, and Geronimo's now healthy again, and Randall Cobb.
Oh, Josh
and
Gordon.
Ty Montgomery.
Okay, let me ask you a question. Okay, you love doing this.
Yep.
Who has the most upside, Devontae Adams or Josh Gordon?
I'm going to quote the great Shannon Sharp, the Pro Football Hall of Famer. Josh Gordon last Sunday looked like he was running with a piano on his back.
He did.
Piano
But
on
did
his
he
back.
catch the ball?
Disqualified.
Did he catch the
You
ball?
just disqualified your own argument.
Hold on, but did he catch the ball? What?
Do any of Aaron's receivers look like they have pianos on their back? I don't think so.
When's the last time Randall Cobb and Geronimo Allison played?
Well, yeah, I got
Geronimo! Are you playing this week?
Yeah.
Randall Cobb.
He's playing. He practiced yesterday.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
About time?
Here we go. Well, I'm just
What
saying
about
he's
Randall
got his
Cobb?
full complement.
What about Randall Cobb?
And guess what?
What?
The spread opened at 8.5, and the betting public is riding the Rams, and it got bet up to 9.5. Geronimo!
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But Todd Gurley is on a historic pace.
Okay.
I mean, come on, Skip. In a throwing league, here's a guy that has 14, 15 touchdowns already in 7 games. He's on a pace to eclipse LT's 31 total touchdowns. His MVP season. You got to factor that in. Vegas factored all that in.
Oh, do they?
Yeah. Who y'all play this week? Who the Patriots play?
Oh, I thought you meant the Cowboys.
No, Patriots.
We're going to win this week, the Cowboys.
Who y'all play?
We're playing
Oh, y'all play.
nobody.
The bye. The bye. Oh, yeah.
We got the bye. We got this.
I guarantee Dak's QBR will be like 50.
No, Dak threw like 7 touchdown passes yesterday against Air to Amari Cooper. Against Air.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You proud of yourself of that, Skip?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. We going to see. We about to talk about Amari.
Really?
Your guy, every time he scores a touchdown, you going to be singing Amari, huh?
That's Amari. Sorry.
Oh,
I was listening to that song last night. Do you know the Dean Martin song?
I do know Dean Martin.
Yeah.
Okay.